Welcome to this special episode of the Wake Up with Gratitude podcast. I'm your host, Julie Boyer, and we're in week 2 of 30 ways to practice gratitude for the month of November. For those in the US, November is traditionally known as the month of gratitude, so I thought I'd share a simple way to practice gratitude every day. If you're just joining us now, you can head back and listen to day 1 and catch up easily, as each episode is only about 5 minutes long. It's easy to join in. Simply click on subscribe or follow the podcast. That way you'll be alerted every time a new episode is released. That makes it easy to start your day with gratitude and find time to implement the gratitude practice that I've suggested each day. Let's get started with today's gratitude practice. On the 12th day of gratitude, my true love gave to me a clean, sparkling, clutterless home. Okay, hopefully you got through my terrible singing there. And you're probably wondering what day 12 is all about. Today we're going to talk about clearing the clutter and making space for more abundance and gratitude in our homes. Do you find sometimes that it's hard to look around your home with gratitude because all you see are piles of things that need to be cleaned up, put away, thrown out, or donated? You may remember Kathy Skelcher, women's health coach, who was on my podcast several times last year. And she recently shared an experience on her blog about how the clutter and overall filth in her home made her feel when she came home from vacation after leaving her teenage kids alone for a few days. When we're surrounded by clutter and things that we don't need or use or that are broken, it makes it harder for us to get into a state of gratitude and thanks for the rest of the things in our home that are working well. There was a great series with Marie Kondo on Netflix about how to organize your home and live with joy. I may not agree with all of her methods, but there was one thing that I found really important, and that's when we are discarding items, whether it be throwing them out or donating them, is to take a moment to give thanks for this item before getting rid of it. This is especially helpful when we're donating something that we've had a hard time letting go of. We can remember and give thanks for the service that it gave to us and our family, and then we can imagine how someone on the receiving end of this object may feel gratitude that it's come into their lives. So what do we do if we want to reduce the clutter in our homes? I had Robin from minimalisthome.ca on the podcast a little while ago, and she shared a simple way to start getting rid of the clutter. First, you only want to choose one room at a time. Don't try and declutter and clean up your whole home in one weekend. You'll get tired before you get through it, and you'll end up with more of a mess than you started with. Choose a small area of the room that you've decided to start with. By the way, never start with your kitchen. Set a timer for 15 minutes and go through that one area, separating your items into 4 piles. Keep, donate, sell, or discard. You can use the Marie Kondo method to help you when you're discarding or selling items. Once the 15 minutes are up, you stop and take a look at where you are. The items that you're going to sell, you want to put them on Marketplace as quickly as possible. And same with the items you're discarding. Make sure you're headed to the recycling depot or your favorite charity donation place within the next couple of days. Now you'll find that you have room to put away the things that you've decided to keep. 15 minutes might not seem like a long time, but you'd be surprised on the amount of things that you can get done in such a short period of time. Finding 15 minutes a day might be hard at first, but as you build this habit, it will help you get your home more clutter-free and organized in a short amount of time. When our lives are not full of clutter, it is easier for us to see the things that we have and express our appreciation for them. Not only that, what I've noticed in my own life is that every time I make room by discarding or giving away things, that makes space for more abundance to enter into my life, often in unexpected ways. Do you find it easier to be grateful when there's less clutter in your home? What do you think of Marie Kondo's methods? Have they helped you at all? I'd love to hear from you. You can connect with me directly via email. I've written it in the show notes or on social media. How has decluttering helped you practice gratitude? This concludes today's gratitude practice. Thanks for joining me, and I hope you take a moment to implement something you've learned today. I have a favor to ask. Would you mind rating and reviewing this podcast? Doesn't matter which podcast app you're using, every rating helps other people to find this podcast and help them make their decision when choosing which podcast to listen to. I appreciate your support, friends, and I'm excited I appreciate your support, friends, and thanks so much for taking the time to listen and rating the podcast. I'll be back tomorrow with another way to practice gratitude.